Vikramaditya does not give up and he goes and catches the little demon Vedal again. He grabs Vedal and puts him on his shoulder. Vedal then decides to try to make him talk as much as he possibly can. Vedal looks at the king and says,
My king, it is not easy to break a man's spirit in any given day. But sometimes anything is possible in life. That is why I am going to start to tell you the story of Ayurvedic Dr. Dinesh. You better listen to it. I am about to start.
Dinesh was a well-respected doctor in a huge village that was right beside the kingdom. One day, Prabhakaran, another doctor in the same village, comes to meet Dinesh for a particular reason.
What is it, my friend? What do you want? Tell me, are you unwell?
No, I'm not unwell. In fact, I'm a Ayurvedic doctor like yourself. I heard around the village that you were a very skilled and intelligent doctor in this particular vicinity. That is why I come to you with a proposition to build a clinic with both of our names written on it.
But I am already engaged in treating my patients in my own house. This is how I have been operating for a long time.
That is very good way of living. But think about it. When you have been treating patients in your house, the entire nation or the city will not take you seriously and you will only be a normal doctor. But when you build a clinic which is huge and large in size, everybody around the village and the city will come to visit you to be treated by you. This is a very ambitious idea.
What you say seems to be a very great idea. So let us start building a clinic right away.
After a while, both Dinesh and Prabhakaran start the clinic and it becomes very successful stop in a span of few months. Come on, they start getting a lot of customers and they treat them very diligently. They also start earning a lot of money. Meanwhile, Dinesh marries a woman named Anita, but Prabhakaran is still all alone by himself. At that moment, one day, a man comes to the clinic with that child who has a big wound in his neck.
Oh no, what has happened to this little boy? He seems so dull and wounded. What has happened to his neck?
I don't know what has happened, sir. Yesterday, when he was sleeping, he was alright. But today, when he woke up in the morning, I saw this terrible huge wound in his neck.
Okay, let me see what has happened. Oh my god, seems like this boy has a bite mark in his neck, but I cannot see any blood in the neck region. This is a very peculiar situation. Here, take this medicine and give it to this child and please let him stay in our clinic for today. Tomorrow morning, you can come and pick him up.
Dinesh had no clue what that bite mark is supposed to be. But Prabhakaran is the only person who seems to have an idea as to what has happened, which is the reason why he made the child stay at the clinic for the night. Prabhakaran looks at the child and says like this.
This seems very sad. I do not know what has happened to this boy, but if my prediction is correct, I will know exactly what has happened to him tonight itself.
Prabhakaran then takes a bow and arrow and stays right behind the boy's room, taking cover next to a shelf. As he predicted, at midnight, a ghost enters the room. The ghost slowly goes over to the boy's body. At that moment, Prabhakaran yells at the ghost and says,
Hey, who are you? What are you doing to that boy? Come on, now wait and see what I'm going to do you.
While saying that, Prabhakaran aims his bow towards the ghost and he releases it. The arrow directly goes and hits the ghost in his left arm. As soon as the arrow hit the ghost, it leaves the room and runs away. The next day morning, Dinesh comes to the clinic and looks at Prabhakaran and says like this.
Hi Prabhakaran, how is the boy's condition right now? He is alright? Do you know what happened to the bite mark?
I shall tell you everything, but I also wanted to tell you this. Yesterday there was a vampire that entered our clinic, a true vampire.
Are you serious? I have never believed in the ideas of ghosts. How do you know for sure that it is an actual ghost? Or as you say, a vampire?
I shall tell you that. Yesterday when I saw the boy's bite mark, come on, I suspected that it would have been a vampire's bite mark. And since it had not taken blood from the boy, I knew that it would come to meet him at night.
Prabhakaran proceeds to tell Dinesh everything that had occurred until then. But Dinesh does not seem to believe the story entirely. He does not seem to believe in what he is saying.
I do not know whether to believe this story or not. This seems too unrealistic to even happen in the first place. Even my wife told me several stories like this that are occurring in this village. How come this place seems to have the most supernatural events occurring here?
You won't believe anything that I'm saying. Can you at least tell me what your wife told you?
Today morning, when I saw my wife, she had a wound in her left arm and she was bleeding severely. When I asked her what had happened, she told me that she was attacked by a hunter in the morning while she was at the river. The hunter had apparently wounded her with an arrow. I can't believe that what both of you are saying. I'm confused a lot, Prabhakar.
Are you trying to tell me that your wife was wounded by an arrow? Tell me where exactly she has been hurt.
She told me that she was hurt in her left arm, but I didn't see it properly.
Yesterday I killed the vampire in its left arm. I don't know what to say. Come on, but I have suspicion on your wife that she is the vampire. I hate to break it to you, but I am pretty certain that your wife is probably the vampire.
Dinesh felt absolutely disrespected that his own friend was calling his wife a vampire. Dinesh had loved his wife with all his heart and soul, but now, even though he feels suspicious, he is not able to come to terms with suspecting his own wife.
Are you serious? Just because my wife had bloodstains in her cloth, that does not mean that she is a vampire.
Okay, fine. Come on, you might not want to believe me, and you do not have to take my word for it. Tonight, I want you to witness what your wife is doing after you go to sleep. Then you will understand.
I shall see what my wife is exactly doing. But unless and until I see what is happening, I do not want you to call my wife a vampire again.
Even though Dinesh was really upset at Prabhakaran, he was still a very calm and rational man. He understood that there was a fair reason to be suspicious of his own wife, but the love and affection that he had for her did not allow him to think of her as a vampire. Prabhakaran reaches his house. His wife says, "What is it, my love? Why are you so late? I thought that we could eat together this night."
Yes, I was quite busy today. I'm sorry for making you wait all this time. By the way, what happened to that wound you had in your left arm?
Oh yes, that has healed perfectly. That wasn't the big of a wound. Come on, let us eat and go to sleep right now. Even though Dinesh loved his wife very much, he was still very suspicious of her. As soon as he went to sleep, he heard a loud noise and he woke up right away. But he did not make a sound, he simply opened his eyes to see what was going on. His wife was standing right in front of him and he saw her transform into a terrible vampire. His wife then flew away from the house through the window like a vampire. Dinesh, after looking this, he got so terrified and afraid.
Oh God, I cannot believe what my eyes just saw. So all these days I was married a vampire? What Prabhakaran said was absolutely right. I should do something about this immediately.
After a while, Dinesh went right back to bed to pretend to be sleeping there. His wife comes to the house after an hour and she transforms herself into a human being. Yet Dinesh is able to see a lot of bloodstains in her mouth and she goes back to bed. The next day morning, Dinesh goes to the clinic and says this to Prabhakaran like this.
What you said was correct. I believe that my wife is a vampire. She left the bed in the middle of the night and she went away like a vampire. I saw her flying through the window of my own house, and when she came back after an hour, she had bloodstains all over her mouth. I am sorry for doubting you.
Yesterday, when you told me that her left arm was the one that was injured, I already knew that your wife was the vampire. But you did not believe my words and you doubted me.
You are right. We have to find a way to stop her. If she realizes that we both know that she is a vampire, she will definitely try to kill both of us.
She should not know that we both know that she is a vampire. She will definitely kill us.
But we have to do something right now.
We don't have to do anything. Before she finds out that we both know that she is a vampire, we have to kill her. In that way, we both would be saving our life and the lives of others.
What? I cannot kill my wife. You know how much I love her. Please don't make me to do this. You take care of it, okay?
Don't you understand? She is not your wife anymore. She is a vampire. If you still think of her as your wife, then you will be the one in danger.
But I cannot forget the fact that she is my wife. If you want to kill her, you find a way to do it.
Fine. Instead of coming to the house today, you live somewhere else at the moment. I shall go to your house and kill your vampire.
Did you see, my king? Even though he realized that his wife was a vampire, he is still unable to kill her. This shows the absolute stupidity of mankind. Now Prabhakaran leaves to Dinesh's house.
Dinesh then walks back to his house. As he was walking back, he becomes really sad and he thinks to himself,
Oh my god, now I am about to kill my own wife. The only person that I can blame for this entire situation to occur is Prabhakaran. If he had not told me that my wife is a vampire, this scenario wouldn't have ever occurred. I would have just lived my entire life not knowing that my wife is a vampire, and he takes half of the money that I earn in the clinic anyway. If I had not met him, I would have made all the money myself. So the only person that is to blame for this is Prabhakaran.
Dinesh becomes a very wicked individual and he starts to think in a very sinister manner. He puts the blame on Prabhakaran for all the wrong things that had happened in his life. He also puts the blame on him because of his wife being a vampire. He meets the village chieftain.
Sir, my partner Prabhakaran is planning to kill my wife. You must save her immediately and punish him. What you are saying? Isn't he already your partner? And why would he kill your wife? I think you have mistaken. You do not know him. He wanted to have my wife before I married her. And now that he realized that he cannot attain my wife, he is on his way to kill her. You should be the one to stop him and save my wife. Fine. I shall send you 2 guards with you. You can take them to your house and save your wife.
Dinesh takes 2 guards towards his house to catch Prabhakaran. Meanwhile, Prabhakaran had just killed Dinesh's wife and he is walking outside of his house. The guards catch Prabhakaran and Prabhakaran is absolutely shocked. He is unable to bear his own friend's betrayal. He looks at Dinesh and says like this.
What have you done to me, my friend? You have made a great plan. You used to kill your own wife and now you are going to take control of the entire clinic to make money? You are a selfish individual.
After a while, Prabhakaran starts laughing like a maniac and turns into a devil and flies away. Dinesh is unable to understand what is going on and he is absolutely confused. My king, both of these men have consistently cheated on each other and fooled each other. Who among them has been more fooled and cheated? If you fail to answer this question correctly, I shall chop your head into 1,000 pieces.
You are right. Both of them have consistently cheated each other. But the way they have cheated on each other is definitely different. Even though Prabhakaran was a devil from the beginning, he stayed true for his profession and he never interfered with the business or the patients who came to him for help. He might have known that Dinesh's wife was already a ghost, but he never brought it up until the young boy came to visit him in the clinic. He made a selfless sacrifice to save and protect that young boy. Whereas Dinesh knew that his wife was a ghost, but he used Prabhakaran to kill his wife. And he wanted to take over the clinic and make more money. Therefore, Dinesh is much of a cheater than Prabhakaran was. What Dinesh did is absolutely unforgivable and disgusting compared to what Prabhakaran did.
Well done, my king, well done. You're absolutely right. But you forgot one thing. Since you have opened your mouth and answered my questions, I am going to leave you now.
Like this, Vedal jumps from the back of Vikramaditya and sits on a branch of a tree again. If you like this story, do like it, share it. For more new stories, please subscribe our New Stories Book English YouTube channel.